Another YouTube video. This is a 1974 Mercury Capri, captive import for Ford. They brought it in from Germany. Both the engine and the car were built in Germany in the early 70s. The car is it's a fun little car. It weighs just a little over 2,000 pounds. Had decent power from the V6. They actually would use this engine for years. And we got it here in Utah for basically the get it out of my driveway price. It had been sitting for 14 years outside of the garage, blocking one bay of the garage. And the wheels were all, the brakes were all seized and all the tires were flat. And we had to spend a weekend getting it to roll well enough to get it onto a trailer. But the encouraging thing was the people we bought it from said her dad had worked as a mechanic for Ford and had taken very good care of it. Unfortunately, in the 14 years in between, it had not done well. You can see all the rust in there. When we drained the oil, we got as much antifreeze as oil out of the block or out of the pan, and we knew that we were at a minimum looking at head gaskets, but that we may not have an engine we could save at this point. And that made us rethink the restoration plans we had. You can see here we're removing the camshafts. We're proceeding with taking the heads off. We took off the exhaust manifolds. Here we're putting the push rods into a piece of cardboard so we can keep track of which cylinder each push rod came out of. But we were not able to free the engine up. It was just locked up tight. And a week went by from the end of this here, and then you're going to see 4 people in the garage. But a week went by where I put in penetrating oil, Marvelli Mystery Oil, diesel fuel. I'll dump that into the cylinders every night to let it soak. And we still could not break that engine free. Not with long breaker bars, not with cheaters on long breaker bars. That engine is toast. You see here Keaton in the hoodie, the green hoodie, his friend Landon in the orange shirt, Landon's brother Braden in the green shirt, and myself in the hat. Anyway, we are working here, see if we can get this engine out, getting the motor mounts, getting the clutch linkages, getting the transmission shift linkages, and finally the speedometer cable ended up being one of the more difficult things to remove on this car. Anyway, we got this engine out, and now we're rethinking what we're going to do with the car. Rather than try and do a restoration, we got it so cheaply that we basically have a good budget still left to do 24 hours of lemons. So we're going to enter this in the 24 hours of lemons race. I'll put a link to them in here, but basically it's $500 cars racing for 24 hours on a real racetrack. Your car can't cost more than $500, although you can sell off pieces of the car to offset your costs. And your brakes, tires, and roll cage don't count against your costs, so your safety gear doesn't count against you. But that's what we're going to do, I think, with our little Mercury Capri. It's light enough. The engine bay is big enough that we can do something fun. And we actually have found another Ford product to put in there. We'll talk more about that in the next video. I want to thank Landon and Braden for helping us. And you can see here we've got about a 3-foot by 3-foot hole to put something fun in. And we'll do more next video.